All right, everybody, how are you doing? This is S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Thomas Show, and I am back, baby. The hiatus is over, and I'm back. And thank you for missing me, and thank you for saying, hey, when you coming back, and when's the next show? I didn't necessarily appreciate all of you guys standing outside of my house, you know, with signs saying bring back the show and following me around. I mean, that's stalking. Calm down. That didn't happen. Maybe it did. Moving on. But it is good to be back, and I missed you guys too. Thank you. Thank you. Let me tell you about a little something that happened right before it was time to bring this show back, you know, after the hiatus. I got my car inspected. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, dude, everyone gets their car inspected. Who cares? Well, let me tell you something. You should care. Because this time when I got my car inspected, I've had this car for a while. And when you get a car and you just get the car, you don't expect anything to happen. You don't expect anybody at the mechanic shop to bother you for any crap. You don't expect them to get on your nerves and try to stick you with some kind of repairs because you just got the car. It's in great shape. You do your thing. You walk in for the inspection. The guy walks out. Okay, Mr. Thomas, I'll take your car now. I'm sure it'll be fine. He comes back out. Well, your car's already out front. It's got the stickers on it. I'll see you next year. And that's what happens. It happens. Then it happens again. Then it happens again. Then it happens again. And then all of a sudden, you know, I'll take your car. Well, you need new brakes. Not a problem. That's not a big deal. Those brakes lasted a long time. Not a big deal. You fix those brakes. Yeah. But eventually, you know what's going to happen. Eventually, there will be a big repair, and it's going to be a big surprise to you, and it's going to be a real repair. They're not even ripping you off. It's a real repair, and oh no. You used to paying, $100 to get your car inspected. Okay, maybe you got to get brakes. Now it's $250, whatever, right? You had budgeted for that. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. But eventually, you know what's going to happen. The mechanic's going to be looking at your car up on the lift, and you're going to see another mechanic come in. They're going to look at each other. Then they're going to look at you. Then they're going to look at the car. Then they're going to look at you, and they're going to look at you, and they're going to look at you. Yeah, they keep looking at you, and you're going to start going, oh. Whenever you got two dudes working on your car looking at each other and looking at you, you know something bad's about to happen. Oh, no. How bad could it be? And then you see the piece of paper in his hand. When there was nothing wrong, it's a little tiny piece of paper. You think it's a gum wrapper. No, it's not a gum wrapper. It's that your car needs nothing. So why waste paper on it? Right. And then this time he comes towards you and he's got a phone book in his hand. Wait a minute. That's not a phone book. Nobody uses phone books anymore. And he's walking towards you and you're going, oh, I hope that's just a list of the repairs that he's done over the course of the year. I mean, it's the end of the year. Maybe that's what it is. No, it's not. Because he's looking at the other mechanic's looking at him, they're looking at your car, they're looking at the paper, and they're pointing to you and shaking their heads. No. And he walks out gingerly like he's a surgeon trying to let you know great-grandma didn't make it, right? And he motions to you to come out into the garage. All the signs on that wall say, hey, if you don't work here, don't go into the garage. If you go into the garage, we're going to have a pit bull come out and bite you in the throat. Keep your punk behind out the garage. Are you a mechanic? Do you work here? No, then stay out of the garage, punk. There's no good reason for you to come out in the garage, punk. But they asked me to come out into the garage. No. And that wasn't a phone book because no one has phone books anymore. Everybody Googles everything. And he sticks that thing in my hand and he starts flipping through the flip at all the repairs that the car needs. And then he shows it to me. Hey, you need this, you know, another this, that, and this, that, and quadruple this, and quintuple that, and 10 of these, and 50 of these, and all this crap. It's a safety issue, Mr. Thomas. But once you get these repairs, you'll be fine. And he shows me the parts that I need. And he shows me how much it's going to cost to fix. Oh, right? And as it turns out, the repair cost, the actual cost to fix the crap is even more than the parts. And the parts cost a lot. Now it's the parts times 3 with the repairs and all of that crap. And I got to get this crap done now. I don't have that kind of money. Not right now. I gotta put the car down for 2 or 3 weeks. I only got a couple of weeks to get this thing fixed. I won't have the money until the beginning of next year. And I'm not driving around with no expired tags on my car, so I'll have to pay all that crap plus another ticket on top of that crap. I don't think so, punk. And I'm going to leave that for a moment and discuss something that's still tied into that. I'm online right now, and I'm seeing a lot of people doing videos for the Tesla vehicles. I would love to have a Tesla vehicle. I would love to get one of those, right? I love electric vehicles, and I would love to have an electric vehicle. They do fantastic thing, instant torque, all this, that, and the other one, and the navigation and quadruple navigation and the autopilot and quadruple autopilot and full self-driving and double back rubs, all of that crap. I'd love to have one of those things. Can't do it right now, but I'd love to have one of those things. And one of the things I like about it, in addition to the fact that it's probably the best cars out there, is the simple fact that they have Tesla road service. Tesla road service. If the repair is something that could be done outside of a shop, a person in a wonderful, beautiful Tesla road service truck will come to your house. They'll even fix your car in the garage at your job or the parking lot at your job, all the kind of thing. They'll actually bring double rotors and quadruple struts and all of that crap to you. Fix it in your space. You don't even have to do anything. All you got to do is let them know where the car is, and they'll open it up. Fix the crap. You come home, your car was broken when you went to work. You come back, the crap fixed. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. Regular cars don't have that. You gotta take that crap into the dealership to get that crap fixed. That sucks. But then I thought about it. Tesla road services is not a new thing. It may be new to other people, but I'm a dude from the hood. And every dude from the hood, we have the hood version of Tesla road service. We always got a dude named Billy, Johnny, Frankie, some kind of crap like that, who used to work as a mechanic in a place, but he got into a fist fight with the manager, or the manager found out that he went to jail and he didn't tell him, or he drank himself out of the job or drugged himself out of the job. But either way, he has the skills of those mechanics, the skills of a high-level mechanic, but he can't get a job in a garage because he doesn't like working for other people, or whatever reason it is. But he's got the skills, but he doesn't have the job. And we all know when a guy like that, and I'm going to call him Billy, because they always have names like that. Even though the guy's like 60, he called him Billy, not William Billy. No. It's the hood version of Tesla road service, and we all know that guy, right? The Tesla road service guy shows up in this highly manicured, perfectly coiffed truck with the crap in it. But the hood version of Tesla road service is a guy named Billy who you gotta pick up at the bus stop. He can fix cars, but he doesn't have one. Doesn't matter as long as he can fix it. In fact, you pick him up at the bus stop, you gotta wait 15 minutes because when the bus broke down, he fixed that crap. Yeah, I said it. Got his impact gun wrapped in an old towel, carrying a suitcase from when he had a job back in the day. Got a picture of Nixon on it and walking around with his tools in there, right? Some of his other stuff's inside of a shopping bag. Doesn't matter. He's got the skills, right? And I call up Billy. Hey, Billy. Here's Anthony. Yeah, man. Could you do me a favor? Yeah, bro. And he goes to fix your car. He's the greatest. He's actually a great guy. A great guy. And he fixes your car. Right? Rides the bus all the way from the other side of town. He said, oh, you know what? I'll come all the way out there to pick you up. I'm already on the bus, bro. Oh, not a problem. Just tell me what bus stop and I'll come get you. Right? And then you think about what it cost to buy the parts at the place that was trying to charge you all of that money. And these dopes made the mistake of giving you a piece of paper telling you exactly the parts you need. They were doing that to try to get you and bully you into making the payments or making a payment plan and spending $18,000 in interest on this punk repair. I'm not dumb. Nice try, chumps. So I take that list of parts, I write them down, and I go to Amazon.com, find exactly the same quality parts from a different manufacturer than the manufacturer that the mechanic uses. Got 5-star ratings, 6,000 5-star ratings. You're daggone right. I read the ratings and the ratings from actual people, right? So I order the parts and they cost less than a third, sometimes less than a quarter of what they wanted to charge me at the place that was the mechanic's place, right? Oh, you crazy. I watch the reviews, I read the reviews, I talk to people that have the same parts, they're happy with the parts, so I buy all the parts from Amazon.com. And they arrive at the house. Oh yeah, I got these parts sitting on the porch. I dragged them into the house. The crap's a lot heavier than I thought. Dragged them into the house. Billy's on his way now. A couple days later, I call Billy. Billy comes to the house. You got the parts, bro? I got the parts, Billy. Billy drags him up the steps, drags him down the steps, drags him to the car. You're daggone right. I asked Billy how much it's going to cost. He tell me how much it's going to cost. It's a fair price. Not a rip-off price, but a fair price. So I'm saying, you know what, bro? As soon as you fix this car, because Billy trusts me, I didn't have the money on me because I didn't know what you wanted, and I don't like to carry money in the house, but I'll go to the ATM and I'll get the bread when you finish fixing the car. He goes, not a problem. I trust you. I fixed your stuff before. And he has. Oh yeah. And I'm in the house chilling. Billy's outside taking care of business. I walk back out with a cheesesteak and quadruple cheesesteak and quintuple cheesesteak and double coffee, quadruple coffee. I ask Billy if he wants the crap. And he goes, no, you can wrap that up. I'll take it when I leave. I don't want to stop working. Good. That's right, Billy. You're the best, baby. You're the best, babe. And he finishes it up. And guess what? Everything's fantastic. You're daggone right. I get in the car, get the bread, give him the bread. Drop him back at the bus stop because I ain't got time to go all the way back on the other side of town. He understands that. I throw him another $20 for his trouble, right? And then he goes, I high five him and he says, anytime you need me, buddy. And if you know anybody, I say, I'm going to send about a bunch of people to you. And he goes, thank you, sir. He goes about his business and I'm driving. And I got 2 days left, 3 days left, something like that. I know it was real. If I didn't pass the inspection this time, I was going to be in big trouble because I knew it was right near the end and I really needed to get this car inspected and I can't have that kind of problem. I don't know how singers can sing that long without taking a breath. I'm just doing a podcast and I ran out of breath just now. Hold on. And now back to the story. I go to a different place, not the same place, a different place to get the car inspected. I take it to the inspecting dude. He gave the thing and gives me the thing. I go pop, 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 pop. In the words of Michael Jackson, I give him the thing and I walk out. He calls me. Hey, it's done. Come get your car. And I said, okay. I came back and gave him the money that it cost of the inspection. And now my car's inspected and it's fixed. Yeah, that's right. And on my travels, I had to drive by that shop that tried to rip your friend off. I almost wanted to drive in and say, hey, I need to get my car inspected. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. I got it inspected by someone who isn't a piece of crap. And then walk into the garage and pimp slap everybody and drive off. But I didn't want to do that because that one, that's illegal. And two, I ain't got time for that. And three, there's a pit bull back there that would bite me in the throat for going into the garage. And also, those are a bunch of young dudes. I could probably beat up one of them, but I can't beat up 6 dudes. They all got tools. And moving on. So the car is inspected, which is a good thing because a bad thing happened. If you follow me on social media, you know that I lost my last uncle, you know, and I'll tell the serious version of what happened with that situation on my other podcast. I'll do it this Sunday. It'll be out this Sunday. And obviously this podcast is called The S. Anthony Thomas Show. And my original podcast where I'll be telling the serious story is called S. Anthony Says. So go listen to that after you listen to this. This is going to be coming out Wednesday. That one will be coming out Sunday. Back to this podcast. Let's go. Right. So I got the car inspected and I'm great. And everything's just running smoothly. Everything's perfect. And I'm going to skip over the sadness of the funeral. I'm going to go straight to the funeral procession. Okay. Worst part is over. We've already gone through the funeral. So now we're in this long funeral line. And I didn't realize, I thought I was at the end of the funeral line because I wanted to make sure everybody got in. All the cars got lined up in front of me. I saw cars in front of me. I let all of them get in front of me. So I thought I was at the end of the line. Then I saw a couple of cars behind me. Then as we start traveling, I realized there's a whole bunch of cars behind me. So obviously there was a bunch of friends of family and friends of friends and friends of friends. When you get to a later age, you have a lot of people in your life, and obviously a lot of people want to say goodbye to you. So this car. So as it turns out, I thought I was at the end of the funeral procession. I was actually in the middle of the funeral procession. I should have been in the front of it, but I wanted to make sure everybody, that I saw that was trying to get their cars lined up, get the car lined up. I already know where I'm going, right? So we're driving, and everybody's got their flashes on and the funeral things in the window. And we're all driving. We're in the car reminiscing about funny things that happened, funny things that my uncle said. And I said with my uncle, because this is the guy I spent the last 20 years every day with this guy for the most part, because he was helping with the other relative, my other two uncles who passed away. And those guys were funny, and he's funny. We're all funny, okay? And so we're driving. I'm talking about some things that I used to say that used to make him laugh all the time. It was something that I said back in my 20s. My friends are comics and actors and writers. So what happens is we're infinitely more vicious to each other when we're talking to each other and about each other. There's literally, when comics get together that are good comics that love each other, there is no mercy. We destroy each other verbally on a regular basis. And it's funny to the person being destroyed, and it's funny to the person being destroyed. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine, he picked up the guy's wife at the airport. Okay, let's tell the truth. I picked up a friend's wife at the airport. Now, he had trashed me viciously. I can't say exactly what he said because I don't have permission to tell the stories that he was trashing me about. Nothing big, but he was like really vicious with it. So I pick his wife up from the airport, and he gets home because he knew he wasn't going to get home in time to pick her up. So I picked her up. So I'm driving back. And she gets out of the car. She walks up and hugs him. I high five him. I say, all right. He goes, what took you guys so long? Now, what took us long was the traffic. Now, she's a veteran comedy wife. She looks back at me and she starts laughing as she walks in the house because she knows what I'm about to do. Okay. Right? It's one of those things where she could tell I was on the phone with him without hearing her voice because he's literally trashing the person on the phone, which is me, and cursing more than he normally does. You mother jumping, mother, ha, ha. We're laughing and joking. She goes, S.S. Anthony on the phone is, and he goes, yeah. She goes, I can tell because you always sound like that. You're always trashing that man when you're on the phone, and she's laughing. So like I said, I pick his wife up from the airport. She's walking in the house. He said, hey, what took you guys so long? She's laughing, and not laughing out loud, but you can see her smiling because she knows I'm about to kill him. So I said, listen, we would have been here a lot sooner, but we didn't know whether or not you were going to be home. And normally when you're not here, I come over and get it on with her. I figured she want to actually have sex that feels good. So, this time we just stopped off at a hotel and got it on. And then she's coming home now to be disappointed by you. And something similar to that. I don't remember exactly what it was. But we're laughing on stuff. Hey, man, get out of here, man. And he starts trashing me. So that's how comics destroy each other on a regular basis. No big deal. Okay. So what happened was, because my friends are like that, they would always try to set me up and I would set them up verbally. And one time a guy, I forgot what it was, but a friend of mine asked me to do something, and it was something stupid that he should have done for himself, but he was lazy and stupid and didn't do it. And I said, yeah, I would do that for you, even though you should have done that yourself, but I have to go see the doctor. It's, oh, you all right? I said, no, it's okay. It's just a regular checkup. It's a new doctor I have. You got a new doctor yet? Oh, I thought that lady was your doctor. You said she was great. Yeah, she's just on vacation, so I'm with a new doctor. Really? Who's that? Yes, Dr. Blackus. Dr. Blackus? Yeah, Dr. Kisma Blackus. And he goes, wait a minute. Because that's what I said to him. And so, and when I told my uncle about the Dr. Blackus joke, he laughs hysterically every time I say it, even though he's heard it before. And I would set it up where I would say that about someone and he'd laugh. So we're laughing about that, having a great time, and some other stories, and I may tell at a later date. So the funeral procession is going on, and we're driving, we're having a good time. We're still sad, but we're talking about, good stuff and positive memories. And sometimes things will happen to you that would normally make you angry, but you don't get angry about it until later. So we're driving in the funeral procession. There's this car that comes steaming up the left lane, and we're about to make a turn. And this is a long funeral procession. I get it. But this car steams up the left lane and cuts in front of us. And I'm thinking, wow. But I'm thinking maybe somebody got cut off from the funeral procession and they couldn't find a clean spot to get in because there was a little more space between the cars where I was. I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's a friend of a friend that just wanted to get in the funeral procession. I mean, that's not the best way to do it. You should probably just get to the end of the funeral procession. I was a little annoyed with that, but we're back to telling stories. We drive a quarter of a mile. And I'm looking at the car and I'm going, that car doesn't have flashes on it. They should probably put flashes on. I don't know why they didn't. Then I notice the car, as we get a quarter mile, makes an abrupt cut from the funeral procession and peels down the street. And as it turns out, that car was not with us. They just didn't feel like waiting, and they cut into the funeral procession because they were in a hurry. Who does that? Just imagine the kind of person that would do that. Now, I've been in a similar situation. I actually, ironically, because this was my uncle's funeral, visiting my uncle maybe like a month ago, I accidentally cut into a funeral procession. Didn't realize I was in the funeral procession. I thought the funeral procession was in front of me. And then I looked in my rearview mirror and I noticed there was a string of cars with their lights flashing. And I'm going, and I immediately cut out of the funeral procession and let the cars go by. I was out of the funeral procession so quickly, they didn't even get a chance to get mad at me. But I didn't cut it on purpose. And sometimes you see people do something like that, and I'm sitting there going, I was angry, but I started thinking, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, just maybe, there was such a supreme emergency that they had to take this really, really evasive action to facilitate something. Maybe they had a sick relative. Maybe there was a pregnant lady in the car. Maybe something really bad was happening, right? Maybe. But then I realized, nah. This person was just a busy crap. And that sucks, right? I mean, come on, man. So anyway, we do the whole funeral thing. We do the burial groove. We say goodbye to Uncle. We're all sad again, and then we're driving away. We have we have a gathering afterwards, and it's just really weird how sometimes something really sad will happen. And when it's all said and done, when you grieve the person and they're gone, and now all of a sudden you start to talk about all the positive things. You start talking about how much you love them. You start talking about how much you miss them. You start talking about all the funny stories. And all of a sudden you go from feeling as bad as you can feel to feeling really, really good. You know you're never going to see them again, and it impacts me because I see the guy every day. It's not like a relative that you see 2 or 3 times a year and you go to the funeral and their impact of them being away isn't the same because you'd have stretches of not seeing them for months at a time. This is somebody I saw every day. But I made a decision. I was sad because it took a week to do the funeral thing. I was sad the whole week, and I'm still sad. There's sadness because I'm never going to see the guy again. But I'm now being washed over with these positive, funny stories and the good stuff, right? So I know at some point, everybody loses somebody. So if you lose somebody, you're going to feel the sadness. I know that. You know that. And I'm going to talk about the more serious feelings and things on my other podcast. I'm going to keep it light here because I'm trying to keep it light here. But just remember, when the sadness comes, after that goes away, that sadness, that pain, it turns into happiness. So just remember that. Now, this is a little more serious than I'd like to be on this podcast, but I wanted to share that with you. Once again, the serious stuff will be on the other podcast. I'm going to keep it light on this podcast. Sunshine, rainbows, happiness, kittens, puppies, babies laughing. See, I ended on a positive note. Thank you. It is great to be back. I love you. Thank you for missing me. Thank you very much. That means a lot. When somebody misses you in a hiatus part, it means a lot to know that I was missed. And I appreciate you. And I'm back for a while now. I really am. It's because of you being cool. Much love to you all. I'll talk to you next time. See you.